This is Henry Frederick from NSB News. This is our Sunday Newsmaker Q&A, and our guest today is Gigi Bennington, City Councilwoman for the City of Edgewater. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We understand that you had a vote this week on a new contract for 80 city employees. Could you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Well, we've been in negotiations for over 9 months, and we finally have come to, they ratified the contract. They asked for a 6% raise, and the main issue, we gave them 3%, which was what was originally budgeted.
And what was the feeling of the council with the initial request for 6%, considering the economy the way it is and tight budgets these days? Was there a little consternation over that, or?
Well, yeah, we were all very. We had to take a step back and take a breath over that they would come back wanting that much, considering the tax situation and Amendment 1 and the general economy. But 3 is what we had agreed on, and that's all we were offering.
What was your personal feeling as an individual councilwoman, someone who's been a resident city, I guess, what, 30 years?
30 plus years.
30 plus years. To come in and ask for 6%, knowing that you would get probably 3%.
Well, I was a little bit taken back by that. I thought it was a little bit greedy on their part to even ask for that when they knew the condition that the city was in, but I think it was a ploy to try. We did give them the 3% retroactive. So actually, they got a nice little chunk.
Now, does this do any damage in terms of morale at City Hall or the relationship between the council and the rank and file employees, or is everybody pretty much happy now with?
My feeling is everyone is really happy. They've had a rough time. The negotiations have been hard. There's been a lot of hard feelings, but since we have the new interim city manager, everyone's morale has improved, and I think everything's fine. I wish we could have given them more, but at this time in the economy, we just couldn't.
Now, for some of our readers who may not know, in the greater New Smyrna Beach area in southeast Volusia, who is the city manager? And he is an interim city manager, and what is his name?
He's the interim city manager. His name is Tracy Barlow. He is also our fire chief. When the previous city manager was terminated, we needed somebody to step in, and he is one of the finest running departments within the city. So we asked him to step in. Little did we know that we don't want to get rid of him.
Now, is he doing both roles now?
Yes, he is.
And is there any conflict of interest in terms of?
No, he has an acting fire chief right now in his place, somebody that he trained. He does fulfill some roles when needed. And
he's been on since November?
Since December 17th.
Okay, and will the interim be lifted from his position at any point, or?
Well, we're not in any big hurry to do it. He's saving us a lot of money by doing this job for us. He did not take a raise, nothing for this.
Are there any expectations or promises?
Nothing's been promised to him.
Okay, and what happened to the previous city manager? And who was that city manager?
The previous city manager was John Williams, and there was a lack of trust, basically, between the employees, the city manager, and the city council.
How long was he on board?
A year and a half, I believe, maybe 2 years.
And what hopes do you have for the interim city manager? He did hold the line, from our understanding, he did hold the line pretty strongly on not going beyond the 3% contract wages.
The one good thing about Tracy that we haven't seen in a long time is he is what you see is what you get. He doesn't pull any punches. He has no hidden agenda. And I think the employees and the council respect that. And we'd like to keep him as long as we could. And I think it has been to our benefit and the employees with him negotiating the contract.
Now, how is the economic climate in Edgewater these days? With Amendment 1's passage, a lot of taxpayers, just holding on to their homes.
Well, we won't know the full impact of how it's going to hit us until sometime in July. There are a lot of foreclosures right now, and we are very concerned about it. So we're watching every penny. We're not in as bad a shape as some people seem to think we are, but we're not in anywhere as good as we need to be.
And
so we're holding the line.
Do you foresee any issues or any problems in terms of developing the next fiscal budget, in terms of the recession or the unnamed recession that we have nationally, and the tax situation here in Volusia County, and the school situation? How do you foresee Edgewater being at a crossroads in terms of being a small bedroom town and coming of age, and how has that made your task as a city councilwoman?
Well, right now it's really tough. We have some major debt services that in 2 years will be paid off that we're facing. So the next 2 years are going to be really rough, really tight. We're going to have to watch every penny. We have some major developments getting ready to come in, and if we could just hold the line for another 2 years, I think Edgewater will be a blossoming city.
Now, we understand there's some improvements on the way for the animal shelter. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, God, yes. By the end of this year, December 25th is the goal. We hope to have the new animal shelter open. It'll be where a mango tree. We're retrofitting an existing city building. It's long, long overdue.
And I understand that you have a grant, some kind of grant that will pay for the majority, if not all of it.
It's not a grant. It's a special assessment that the voters voted on. There's $500,000 that have been sitting there since 2004.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're going to be using the money for.
Now, will all that money be used for that, or can some of that be used to offset tax increases?
No, it can only be used for the animal shelter.
And what do you see down the pike for Edgewater? What can we look forward to, and what can the residents look forward to in Edgewater in the near future?
In the near future? Well, like I said, we're going to have some major new developments come in which will virtually change the face of Edgewater. We have slow but steady economic growth.
Mm-hmm.
Although you don't really see it now, but you'll see it in a few more years. So, and we have some plans to renovate US 1 along and the 442 corridor. So there'll be some changes.
And we understand.
Changes slow.
We understand that the police department as well is in negotiations with the city, and they too are asking for 6% wage increases, unless I'm not correct about that.
Yes, they are. They're asking for it. They're supposed to vote on their contract, the union, I think this coming Monday, but...
How many police officers are we talking about, or positions?
Gosh, I think there's about approximately 40 all total.
So between 80 employees that the city's already negotiated with and 40 in the police department, that's quite a bit of increase for the taxpayers at 3% annual.
It was already budgeted, so the money is there.
Okay.
So when they approved the budget last year, they approved a 3% budget, so the money is sitting there waiting.
Is there anything else the residents of Edgewater need to be concerned about at this point, or anything the council's working on that you feel is important to let the public know about?
I just want the public to realize and know that the city is functioning the best that I have seen it function in 20 years. We are getting a lot accomplished, although a lot of it won't come to fruition for several years, but and the council is working well together, and we have a great city. It'll move forward.
What would you say is your best aspect of your city? What makes Edgewater stand out from your point of view? What's its strongest quality?
The people. The people.
Still friendly?
Majority of the people are. They've moved here for a reason. They like the small town atmosphere. We want to try to keep it as much as we can.
Even though you have emerging families coming in?
Right. We're going to grow.
Yeah.
There's no stopping it, but we're really working hard on keeping that small town atmosphere.
How do you balance between New Smyrna has the high rises on the beach side, and they have a hospital, and they have a lot of commercial development, You have Florida Shores, which I understand has some 6,000 homes alone. How do you balance that between Edgewater's burgeoning population? I guess in some estimates it's even as high, if not more than Smyrna Beach's, and the tax base, and keeping it from overwhelming the residential homeowners.
Well, that's where the balancing act comes in. And we've had some high tax millages in the past. We've had to, but with our debt services being paid off soon, I think we'll be able to maintain that level of service without the extremely high tax base. How we maintain it is we watch the money real careful.
Well, I want to thank you for your time. This has been Gigi Bennington, the City Councilwoman for Edgewater. I'm Henry Frederick for NSB News, and have a great Sunday. Thank you.